3 years ago, in a quiet exam room at a senior wellness clinic, Dr. Eleanor Roberts sat across from an 82-year-old man named Harold. He wasn't there for a serious diagnosis, just a routine checkup. But as he struggled to recall the names of his medications, she noticed something unusual. Not in his body, but in the way he talked about his life. No plans, no friends nearby, and no hobbies to speak of. "I guess I'm just waiting," he said with a faint smile. "For what?" "I'm not sure anymore." That moment haunted her, because Harold didn't have a fatal illness, but he was slowly fading all the same. It's cases like Harold's that led Dr. Roberts to uncover a startling truth. Many seniors aren't dying from disease, but from silent forces that chip away at life little by little. And while 5 of these hidden threats are now well known, from social isolation to medication cascades, Dr. Roberts later discovered 3 more overlooked factors that quietly steal years from even the healthiest-looking elders. Today we're pulling back the curtain on these 3 subtle, life-shortening traps. Ones that rarely make headlines, but may be affecting you or someone you love, because recognizing them could be the key not just to a longer life, but a richer, more vibrant one. Let's dive in. Number 1. Hidden vision and hearing loss. Imagine trying to keep up in a conversation, but all you hear is muffled noise and distant echoes. Or picture walking into a familiar room but suddenly misjudging the step, nearly falling. For millions of older adults, this isn't imagination. It's daily life. What's surprising is how often mild vision or hearing loss goes unnoticed or unspoken. It sneaks in gradually, so we often adapt without realizing how much we've lost, until the consequences start showing up in much more serious ways. But here's what most people don't know. Even slight sensory loss can quietly speed up cognitive decline, increase the risk of falls, and contribute to depression. A major study from Johns Hopkins found that seniors with untreated hearing loss are significantly more likely to develop dementia. In fact, those with moderate hearing loss had triple the risk compared to those with normal hearing. Vision loss paints a similar picture, often leading to isolation, frustration, and declining independence. Dr. Eleanor Roberts saw this pattern repeatedly in her clinic. Take the story of Thomas, a retired engineer in his late 70s. His family noticed he'd become quieter at dinners, even withdrawn. At first, they thought he might be depressed, but a routine checkup revealed the real culprit. His hearing aids weren't working properly, and he was too embarrassed to say anything. Once he was fitted with a new, better device, his personality returned almost overnight. "I didn't realize how much I'd been missing," he told Dr. Roberts, laughing over lunch with his grandchildren. The issue isn't just about clarity of sound or sharpness of sight. It's about staying connected, engaged, and confident. The good news? This is one of the most easily correctable longevity factors. Dr. Roberts recommends 3 simple steps. Schedule annual vision and hearing exams, even if you think everything's fine. Invest early in assistive devices. Don't wait until the decline becomes severe. Speak up if things seem off. Today's glasses, lenses, and hearing aids are more discreet and powerful than ever. A small fix, like a new pair of glasses or adjusting a hearing aid, can dramatically improve quality of life, reduce fall risk, and even protect your brain health. So here's the question. When was your last checkup for vision or hearing? If it's been more than a year, maybe it's time. Coming up next, we'll explore a condition that many seniors live with for years, without ever realizing it's robbing their brain of oxygen every single night. It's one of the most underdiagnosed sleep disorders in older adults, and addressing it could change everything. Let's talk about sleep apnea. Number 2. Unrecognized sleep apnea. Most people think sleep apnea is something that only affects loud snorers or people who are severely overweight. But here's a surprising truth. Millions of seniors suffer from sleep apnea without ever realizing it, and it may be silently shortening their lives. Sleep apnea is a condition where your breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, sometimes dozens of times per hour. Each time it happens, your brain is jolted out of deep rest, so it can trigger you to breathe again. Most people don't wake up fully, so they have no idea it's happening. But the body keeps score. Over time, these sleep interruptions trigger inflammation, raise blood pressure, increase the risk of heart disease, and speed up cognitive decline. Some studies even link untreated sleep apnea to a higher risk of Alzheimer's. Dr. Eleanor Roberts recalls a patient named Helen, a bright and active 70-year-old who came in complaining of brain fog, low energy, and mood swings. Her tests looked normal, but something didn't add up. Dr. Roberts asked a few key questions. Do you wake up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep? Do you ever wake up gasping or with a dry mouth? Has anyone ever told you that you stop breathing at night? Helen hesitated, then said, Actually, yes. My daughter says I sometimes stop breathing for a bit and then gasp. That led to a sleep study. The results were eye-opening. Moderate obstructive sleep apnea. Within 2 weeks of using a CPAP machine, a small device that gently keeps her airways open, Helen's energy returned, her mood improved, and the fog began to lift. Dr. Roberts emphasizes that sleep apnea often goes unnoticed in older adults, especially those who don't fit the typical stereotype. And because seniors may already struggle with fragmented sleep, many chalk it up to just getting older. But you don't have to accept poor sleep as inevitable. Here's what you can do. Ask your doctor if you should be screened for sleep apnea, especially if you snore, feel tired during the day, or wake frequently at night. Consider a home sleep test, which is now widely available and much more comfortable than traditional sleep labs. If diagnosed, don't fear the CPAP. Today's models are quieter, smaller, and easier to adjust than ever before. Restorative sleep is one of the greatest gifts you can give your body and brain, especially after age 65. So if you've been feeling groggy, foggy, or just off, don't ignore it. It might not be age, it might be sleep apnea. And now, for our final point, we're exploring something that has nothing to do with the body, but everything to do with how we view ourselves as we age. It's a mindset that can either extend your life or quietly take years away. Let's talk about aging beliefs.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 3. Outdated beliefs about aging. When Barbara turned 74, she said something to Dr. Eleanor Roberts that stuck with her. I guess I'm just too old to start anything new, she shrugged. My time for that has passed. It was a casual comment, but one that echoed a belief far too common among seniors. And here's the truth. What we believe about aging may quietly shape how long and how well we live. Groundbreaking research from Yale University found that older adults who hold negative beliefs about aging, like thinking decline is inevitable, live on average 7.5 years less than those with more positive views. That's not a typo, 7.5 years. Why? Because beliefs influence behavior. If you think your best years are behind you, you're less likely to stay active, try new things, or maintain social connections. You might skip exercise because you think, what's the point? Or avoid learning technology, thinking, I can't keep up. Dr. Roberts has seen this mindset limit countless patients, not because of their physical condition, but because of a silent mental ceiling they placed on themselves. But here's the inspiring part. Beliefs can change, and when they do, so can your entire health trajectory. Remember Barbara? With gentle encouragement, she enrolled in a local art class, just for fun. A few months later, she was painting weekly, had made several new friends, and was even leading a workshop for other beginners. Her energy returned, her mood improved, and so did her confidence. She told Dr. Roberts, I thought this stage of life was just about waiting. I didn't realize it could be about creating. That's the shift. Aging isn't the end of growth. It's the beginning of a different kind of power. You've got decades of wisdom, perspective, and resilience. That's not a limitation. That's an asset. Here's how to start challenging outdated beliefs. Notice the language you use. Are you saying, "I can't," or "I'm too old"? Pause and reframe. Surround yourself with age-positive role models, people who inspire you to stay active, curious, and hopeful. Try one new thing this month. It doesn't have to be big, just something that proves to yourself that you're still growing. The way you think about aging could be the very thing that shapes how you age. So here's a powerful question to carry with you. What if the best chapter of your life hasn't happened yet? Let's close with a quick recap and a simple tool to bring all these ideas together into daily action, because knowledge is only powerful if we use it. Ready for your longevity checklist? Let's put it all together. Number 4, social isolation and loneliness. Frank had always been the kind of guy who showed up. Every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., he'd meet his buddies at the local diner. Same booth, same jokes. They'd talk about sports, old stories, and occasionally share quiet moments of real wisdom. But after his wife passed, Frank moved across the country to live near his daughter. It made sense on paper. Closer to family, better medical facilities, but something unexpected happened. Within 18 months, his health started to decline. Not because of a major illness, but because something powerful went missing: his daily social connections. Loneliness isn't just an emotional state, it's a biological risk factor, especially for older adults. A well-known study from Brigham Young University found that chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death by 29%, about the same as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. Dr. Eleanor Roberts watched this pattern unfold again and again. Patients with similar medical profiles aged dramatically differently depending on one key variable: how connected they were to others. Why is this so powerful? Because when we feel isolated, our bodies react with stress, elevated cortisol, increased inflammation, and weakened immune function. Over time, these changes don't just affect mood, they impact the heart, brain, and even mobility. But here's the hopeful part. This is one of the most reversible risk factors. Dr. Roberts shares 3 proven ways to reconnect. Start small but steady. Choose one weekly activity where you see the same people regularly: a church group, exercise class, or book club. Use senior-friendly tech tools like Senior Planet or AARP's online communities to find new friends based on shared interests. Rebuild your circle consciously after big life changes. Moving, retiring, or losing a spouse often shrinks your network. Rebuilding takes intention, but it's possible. Let's go back to Frank. His daughter noticed his decline and helped him find a local veterans group and a small volunteering role at the library. It wasn't immediate, but over time, the spark came back. The laughter, the purpose, the energy. 1 year later, Frank had a new group of friends, and his doctor noted improvements in both mood and health. So ask yourself, who do you talk to regularly? What small step could you take to strengthen those bonds or build new ones? Because it's not just about staying busy. It's about being seen, heard, and valued. And that brings us to our next critical piece of the longevity puzzle, one that doesn't involve relationships at all, but the very medications in your cabinet. Let's talk about the medication cascade.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 5, loss of purpose and meaning. When Margaret retired at 67, she had a plan: relax, tend to her garden, and enjoy some well-earned peace and quiet. For a while, it worked, but after a few months, she found herself waking up later and later, not really excited about the day ahead. She'd water the plants, watch a little TV, and call it a night. Days started blending together. "I wasn't unhappy," she told Dr. Eleanor Roberts, "but I wasn't exactly living either." It turns out, Margaret was facing a challenge that many older adults experience, but don't always recognize: a loss of purpose. It's one of the most under-discussed factors that quietly shortens life after retirement. In cultures with high longevity like the blue zones of Okinawa, Japan, people live well into their 90s and hundreds, and one reason is their strong sense of ikigai, or reason for being. They wake up each morning with a clear purpose, something that gives their life meaning, whether it's mentoring, crafting, caregiving, or contributing to their community. Dr. Roberts observed this firsthand. Patients who maintained a sense of purpose showed slower cognitive decline, better physical health, and higher emotional resilience. Those who didn't often decline more quickly, even if their medical numbers looked fine. So what happened to Margaret? She saw a news story about food insecurity in her area. That very week, she started donating extra veggies from her garden. Then she began organizing neighbors. Eventually, she helped turn an abandoned lot into a community garden that now provides fresh produce to dozens of families. The change was more than external. Her energy increased, her arthritis symptoms lessened, and her cognitive tests? Stable for the first time in years. That's the power of purpose. Dr. Roberts offers a few ways to rediscover yours. Ask yourself what problems you care about solving. Is it hunger, loneliness, education? Your life experience is a powerful asset. Use a framework like Ikigai, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what can sustain you. Start small but show up consistently. A weekly call to check on someone, teaching one person. Even simple acts build meaning. Purpose doesn't have to be big, it just has to be real. So ask yourself, what makes you feel useful, needed, excited to start the day? Because it's not just about living longer, it's about living on purpose. Now that we've covered the emotional and social factors behind longevity, let's turn our attention to something more physical, but just as critical. It's time to explore how medications, yes, even the ones meant to help you, can sometimes do more harm than good. Let's talk about the medication cascade. Number 6, medication cascade. At first, it was just one pill for high blood pressure. Then came another for occasional dizziness. A few months later, a third to help with sleep. By the time Mr. Jenkins, age 78, came to Dr. Eleanor Roberts, he was taking 14 different medications, prescribed by 3 separate doctors who hadn't communicated with each other in over a year. His main complaint? Constant fatigue, foggy thinking, and frequent falls. Ironically, none of these symptoms were from his original health issues. They were from his medications. This is what experts call the medication cascade, a chain reaction that begins when the side effects of one drug are mistaken for new symptoms, leading to even more prescriptions. It's shockingly common among older adults. In fact, nearly 40% of Americans over age 65 take 5 or more prescription medications daily, not including over-the-counter pills or supplements. The result? Confusion, falls, hospitalizations, and faster health decline. A study from Johns Hopkins found that polypharmacy, taking multiple medications, is responsible for up to 30% of hospital admissions in older adults. That means nearly 1 in 3 seniors ends up in the hospital not because of their illness, but because of the drugs meant to treat it. Dr. Roberts saw this again and again. The real turning point came when she began conducting comprehensive medication reviews with her patients, gathering everything they were taking, even vitamins and herbal remedies. In many cases, reducing or eliminating unnecessary medications led to near-instant improvements. So how do you protect yourself from the medication cascade? Dr. Roberts recommends 4 simple steps. Get an annual medication review, preferably with a clinical pharmacist or geriatric specialist. This should be a separate appointment focused only on medications. Ask 3 essential questions about each drug. What is this for? What would happen if I stopped? Are there safer alternatives? Learn about the deprescribing movement, which focuses on safely reducing unnecessary medications. Resources like the Canadian Deprescribing Network offer helpful tools you can bring to your doctor. Use smart tools like MediSafe, a free app, or pharmacy packaging that organizes pills by time of day. The key takeaway? More meds don't always mean better health. In fact, sometimes less is more, especially when those pills are doing more harm than good. So, when was the last time you reviewed all your medications together? Next, we'll look at something that starts deep inside your body and influences nearly every aspect of aging, from your joints to your memory. Let's explore the hidden impact of chronic inflammation and gut health. Number 7. Chronic inflammation and gut health. You might think of your gut as just a digestion machine, but in truth, it plays a central role in how fast or how well you age. Inside your gut lives a complex world of bacteria and microbes known as your microbiome. And while that might sound scientific, here's what it really means for you. A healthy gut helps keep inflammation low throughout your entire body. But as we age, especially past 65, our gut microbiome naturally becomes less diverse. This isn't just about tummy trouble. It's about something called inflammaging, a state of low-grade chronic inflammation that speeds up aging and weakens every system, from your heart to your brain to your joints. Dr. Eleanor Roberts often saw this firsthand. Take Howard, a 75-year-old who came in with rising blood pressure, worsening arthritis, and early memory problems. His lab tests showed high inflammatory markers, but nothing alarming enough to explain the decline. So Dr. Roberts tried something different. She focused on his gut. They made simple changes: more plant-based foods, fewer processed snacks, and strategically timed probiotics and fiber. Within just 3 months, Howard's inflammation dropped, his pain lessened, and his memory scores improved. It was like someone turned the lights back on, he told her. So how does your gut affect your whole body? Because 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. When your microbiome is out of balance, often due to age, stress, medications, or diet, it triggers an immune response that never fully turns off. That constant, silent inflammation is like rust slowly eating away at your health from the inside out. Here's what Dr. Roberts recommends to support gut health and reduce inflammation. Adopt a Mediterranean-style diet with senior-friendly tweaks: more fruits, veggies, beans, fish, and olive oil, but softer textures and smaller portions to match older digestion. Time your probiotics and prebiotics. Spread fermented foods like yogurt or kefir and fiber-rich items like oats or lentils across your day, not all at once. Avoid sneaky inflammation triggers such as artificial sweeteners, excess alcohol, and even certain over-the-counter drugs like NSAIDs. Choose the right kind of fiber. Soluble fiber, found in oats, flaxseed, and beans, is easier on older digestive systems and more effective for calming inflammation. So, how's your gut feeling these days? Do you feel more sluggish after certain meals? Do you notice brain fog or joint stiffness after poor eating days? These are signs your body may be calling for help from the inside. And as we've seen, when the gut improves, the rest of the body often follows. Up next, we'll explore a factor that connects deeply to this one: how stress and poor sleep create a vicious cycle that silently accelerates aging. Let's dive into the crucial relationship between stress, sleep, and longevity.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 8. Stress and sleep. Quality. Elizabeth was 72 when she first met Dr. Eleanor Roberts. She wasn't sick exactly, but she wasn't well either. She was tired all the time. Her memory felt fuzzy. She struggled with anxious thoughts, even though her life seemed peaceful on the outside. When Dr. Roberts asked about her sleep, Elizabeth shrugged. I go to bed early, but I'm up half the night, and I can't stop worrying about the smallest things. What Dr. Roberts discovered was something now well documented in aging research. The link between stress and sleep forms a powerful loop, one that can quietly age your body and brain faster than almost anything else. Here's how it works. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to stress hormones like cortisol. At the same time, our sleep cycles naturally shift. We get less deep, restorative sleep. When we're stressed, our bodies struggle to relax, and when we don't sleep well, we become more sensitive to stress. It's a vicious cycle, and it gets worse after age 65. But there's good news. Once we understand the connection, we can start to turn that downward spiral into an upward one. In Elizabeth's case, Dr. Roberts introduced a few senior-specific strategies. She encouraged a warmer bedroom temperature, which works better for older bodies than the usual advice to keep it cool. Light exposure therapy in the morning to reset her circadian rhythm. And a daily mindfulness practice, just 5 minutes of deep breathing each morning. Within 2 months, Elizabeth's sleep improved. Her anxiety eased, and her cognitive tests, they stopped declining and even ticked upward slightly. Sleep is more than rest. It's when your brain literally cleans itself, flushing out waste proteins linked to cognitive decline. It's also when your body repairs cells, balances hormones, and resets your emotional resilience. If you're not sleeping well or carrying stress you can't shake, here are Dr. Roberts' top recommendations. Ditch the one-size-fits-all advice. Seniors often need modified sleep routines, like short daytime naps or earlier bedtimes to match natural circadian shifts. Practice gentle stress management like guided meditation, soft music, or heart rate variability training, shown to work especially well in older adults. Alternate periods of activity and rest throughout your day, rather than pushing through 16 straight hours of alertness. Reframe sleep setbacks. If you wake up at night, don't panic. Get up, do something relaxing, then return to bed when drowsy. So let me ask you, what's your relationship with sleep right now? Is it peaceful or a nightly battle? Addressing stress and improving sleep could unlock more clarity, energy, and calm than you thought possible. And when combined with the other 7 factors we've covered, it becomes part of a bigger picture, a virtuous cycle of longevity. As we age, it's easy to believe that decline is inevitable, that we're meant to slow down, withdraw, and simply get by. But modern science and real-life stories tell a different, more hopeful truth. The way we live matters more than our genes. Our daily choices, how we connect with others, nourish our bodies, challenge our minds, and care for our spirit, quietly shape the years ahead. The hidden factors we've explored, from unrecognized sleep apnea to loss of purpose, are not life sentences. They're opportunities for change. Even small adjustments like reviewing medications or reaching out to a friend can ripple outward to transform our health and happiness. The lesson is simple but profound. Aging is not just about adding years to life, but adding life to those years. We are never too old to grow, to feel joy, or to find new meaning. Every sunrise is an invitation to live with more intention, more connection, and more hope. Because thriving after 65 isn't a lucky accident, it's a choice, and it's one we can begin today.
Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.